My name is Jonathan, and I'm a caregiver for my wife Lynn, who has a permanent brain injury. Things are a bit different now, but we're doing the best that we can. Join us as we experience the Lynn life. I haven't run this one in a while. Oh, hey guys. You caught me playing with my trains. Hang on, I'm just going to park this locomotive. My New York Central Hudson. I'm just going to pull it right up here in front of these buildings where I like to park it a lot. All right. Want to hear the bell? Or the whistle? Here's the bell. Pretty cool, huh? I'm going to shut it off right now, but then I'll have a little talk with you. We're going to talk about the railroad today. All right, shut her all off now. And yeah, I wanted to talk to you about the railroad, that I am starting to do some stuff on it again. And I have some plans going forward in the very near future that I'll be doing. And I just want to address that now and put it out into the universe, so to speak. So it's kind of a commitment, so I'll continue to do it because, well, I told the people on the vlog I'm going to do it, so I have to finish doing this. But that's the plan, and it does involve this area, and it involves these buildings that this little row of buildings I finished last year. And I want to go to the next step, and that's hook up all the lighting. These buildings need to be lit. Most of them are all ready to go. There's at least one of them is not. And there's something else in another area that needs to be lit. Years ago, when I chose to continue building a city area, it requires a certain commitment. It's much easier to model sort of a country scene, with some trees and maybe a tunnel here and there and a couple buildings. That's much easier. When you get into a city, there's a whole lot of details, and it requires a lot of lighting if you want to do it, if you want to have a night scene. And I'm going to show you that right now. Model railroads typically are shown during the day, and I have a light on it for that. I have a dedicated light. It's right here. I'll show you. See, I can shut that off and it's all dark. Turn that back on. There it is, daytime. But I can also turn on the night mode. Now shut off these lights. And there you go. That's night mode. I'm using a blue light. And it looks good. Everything is dark, and I can then I have some of these buildings lit, like the train station, which I've showed you before. If you haven't seen it, well, here it is. A very detailed train station with a complete interior, and at least 3 tracks running underneath, and another track on the outside, and with sort of a freight area, Railway Express freight area. And then you run into this area over here where I have these new buildings. It's dark. Those buildings all need to be lit. And that's my commitment. And I know Justin is biting at the bit to get involved with this, because he gets involved with any of my electrical stuff, like the lighting and things like that. So he's ready to go. And it isn't just lights in the building, but I have animated billboards. I have a Domino Sugar billboard over here. I have an H&C coffee displays. That's all animated. They're made to look like, you know, neon signs. And this railroad takes place in the early 40s, the war era, World War II era. And I have other lighting on this side. I'll turn it on here. See, that's all dark, but you get into this area over here and you see some lights. Those are finished. This is my Harley Davidson dealership. Complete interior. Got a street light there. Some cars. You got, this is an ice cream place. That has a complete interior. You got a diner over here with a complete interior that I made years ago. That's pretty cool. This is a movie theater. And I can show you something else. It also has a billboard. They're playing Casablanca. See, because Casablanca came out during the war era. And so that's appropriate. So that's all animated as well. I love animated signs like that. So it's pretty cool. You see all the people in there. Some cars. There's a taxi cab parked out in front. If I didn't have that blue light, it just gets really dark. Turn this on. Of course, this is during the day right now, and I do have a window in here. So it gives me a little bit light. Even at night, it'd be pitch black. Let me shut this off too. Shut that off. Shut the other lights off here. Yeah. And everything is to scale. It's HO scale, 1/87th scale. So everything, the people, the automobiles, the trains, the track, the buildings, they're all perfectly to scale. And all correct for the era. All the automobiles are within the early 40s era. All the advertising, and oh, I love my advertising, is all correct for that era. And that's the way I like to keep it. But what have Justin and I done recently? Well, we did do some things. We put backgrounds. Do you see the background? See the buildings in the back? I'm using some forced perspective here. There are buildings in the back, and I'm going to show you what they actually are. Here's an example. This is one of the buildings. It's flat. It's a piece of foam core board with an actual printed picture of a real building on the top. All period correct. And I use these flats a lot in some other areas like backgrounds. If you were to go back here, let's get you down here. In the back corner there, those buildings are all flats. I have built roofs and sides on them to make them more three-dimensional, but they're all flats. The building over here on the right there, that's a flat. The ones that are there are all flats. It's so when you get back here, the scene continues, and that's where this one is going to go as well. Back here is another background. And it's actually a piece of foam core, and it's covering a window. Okay, and I just have it covering the window there, and it's, if you go back, you can see it. And when I go over here, in front of these, you just see that it's sort of a city in the background, right? But it's going, there's still other buildings that got to go back behind these buildings will cover the lower part of that. So I like to use a lot of forced perspective and things like that, trickery, things like that to finish that. But the big thing right now is the lighting in these buildings. Got to get that going. So in a future video, I will have that done and show it to you. I've also got to put way down underneath on the other side of the road, there has to be a sidewalk finished in front of those buildings. I also need a light here. Pop's Hot Dogs needs a light. That needs to be done. And then over here, going over into the yard, this building here, it's never been finished. The track in front hasn't really been finished. It needs some ballast put down on all that track. It's got to be finished, and that needs a light. It does have a light pole there that's lit, but it needs a light in that as well. So that's the plan. I've also been playing with the trains a little bit because that's fun. Parts of the track, because I haven't been using it a lot, it's dirty. That needs to be cleaned. Justin's also biting at the bit for that too. He said, geez, you got to get the track clean. So you run your trains and do all. I go, yep, that would be fun, but it's also work, and I only have so much time. Despite being retired, Lynn requires a lot of time. There are days that I don't have aides, and I have one today. But still, the whole morning was occupied. I was doing things with her. Lynn is doing quite well, actually. I'd have to say I'm pretty happy. We have some more doctor appointments next week. She's got to go to her oncologist. And, she's still on oxygen at night, although they sent me another test thing that I had to use to put on her at night to test her oxygen level, and then I shipped that out on Friday. Today is Sunday, Sunday the 15th. But she's been doing good, doing very well. She walks around with her walker. She does word fine. She's been watching the Olympics. That's what we've been doing, watching a lot of the Olympics. She enjoys that. But overall, she's doing good. We met with the surgeon. He's happy. He says, she's doing well. The cancer's gone. There was nothing in the, no cancer elsewhere. And so he's very happy. So I'm happy. All we're doing now is waiting for spring. Waiting for spring. We still got a ton of snow out there. It's warmed up in the low 30s today. And it feels like summer to me. I went outside, brought the garbage outside in my short sleeves, and geez, it didn't feel too bad. Compared to last week when it was like 15 below or something. And if you did that, it would shut you right down, boy. But we still got a lot of snow. We haven't had a lot of snow. We had a little bit the other day, but hasn't been a lot. That was only a few inches. But it needs to melt. It needs to melt right now. We need a gradual thaw to start melting this stuff. Because before I know it, it'll be March. Traditionally, the beginning of March, they say, in like a lion, out like a lamb. So traditionally in March can sometimes bring some of the worst snowstorms. I've seen 3 feet or more all at once in March. But hopefully we'll be spared because it's been so cold that it kind of shuts down the lake effect a little bit. Because the lakes, Lake Ontario gets very cold. So it kind of shuts down that lake effect a little bit. But I need some warm weather. I need a sign of spring. We both do. Lynn and I both do. Justin as well. So, but meanwhile, I'm going to continue working on this model railroad and post updates. Going forward this year, I want to do some history vlogs. I want to take you with me some areas in central New York State, central and upper New York State, up in the Adirondacks as well, and go to points of interest that have lots of history and talk to you about that. I think it's something I'm very interested in, and I want to show that to you. So we're going to be doing that this year. Each year I try to come up with something a little bit different that I'm going to do. So that's one of the things. But despite that, I think that's all I got for you today. I just wanted to get something out for you. And we'll see you next time on the Windmill.